Health IQ Podcast, Anxiety versus You, Simple Ways to Take Back Control.
Hello, I am Brenda Bishop, the host of Health IQ. Today's episode will provide you tools to help you handle the challenges that come with each season of the year. Every season seems to have something different. Our director and camera person today is Bobby Hockaday, and joining me at the table is Joyce Runyan, who's also sort of doing double duty today as our crew as well. So I sort of chose seasons to talk about this because as we travel through each season, everything is a new stressor. You know, we have fall and school fall sports and decorating. That's a stressor for me. Then we have holidays, and then we have cold winter. Yeah. And then we get spring and all the spring
and
activities.
Wind and allergies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for every season brings something new as a stressor.
Yes.
And but we need those skills that we're going to talk about today to try to help us reduce that stress. And we're actually, as a council, been working on anxiety in our community and providing people with tools to reduce anxiety.
Yes.
And first step of reducing anxiety is reducing stress. They're almost the same.
They walk hand in hand.
Yeah, because if we leave our stress unchecked, then we have anxiety. So today we're going to talk about some of those things that we can do to reduce stress, to reduce anxiety, that work for us, that we work for people that we know. And I think it'll be a fun podcast. So as we think about anxiety itself, we do need to remember that anxiety is a little more than that occasional feeling of stress.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And so sometimes those things that are one time, or we're nervous about something, we're nervous about a test, we're nervous about an event we're putting on, a presentation, talking in front of the camera. That's stress. That may be a temporary anxiety, but that's not the things that cause us problems or cause us health issues. It's the stress that...
Well, it's enduring. So it's something that doesn't go away. It lasts a long time. Stress is really a part of our lives. Every day we have stress. Mm-hmm. And that's how we learn to manage things and cope things, prioritize things. This is more important, so I need to do this. And that is another way to kind of keep your stress under level too. But stress is something that each of us deal with, even our children, our students going to school. And, you know, we think, oh, I remember when I went to school and it was just such a nice time. But we don't remember the, not being the popular kid or not being the smart kid or being the unathletic kid. And those are all stressors. And so we all deal with those. And it's really, how do we manage our stress so that it doesn't turn into a long-term stressor, which then affects so many things with your health.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk just a few minutes by the anxiety is when it keeps you from being able to do the things that you want to do. So if we really wanted to go to that movie, mm-hmm. but the anxiety of walking out of our door and going to stand in line and maybe sitting at the movie by ourselves keeps us from doing it, then that's when we need to start.
Yeah, that's probably a bad sign.
Right.
That's a bad sign.
Start looking for ways that we can get some help. Mm-hmm. So if your anxiety is left unchecked, that sort of goes hand in hand with many of the other mental health disorders, and especially depression and things like that. So we really want to encourage, before we go on, if you get to that point where this anxiety is keeping you from doing what you really want to do in life.
Or what you could do normally. Go to the grocery store, go to the post office.
Right. Just
normal interactions.
Please seek help. And by that, I mean seek professional help.
Yes.
And on our website, we do have a list of all the mental health providers that And there's even 988 that you can call, which will send you to the New Mexico crisis line, and they will help you. They'll talk you through things and get you more help. So we want to make sure that people know that. If you're in another community, you can call 988, and that will take you to your state's crisis line. But we want to get help and learn these coping skills, because if we learn our own coping skills
before,
then we won't get to that point. And so that's, I guess, one of our the stressors are things we want to stress today. Also, that stress is often a natural response to whatever it is. It's a protector. Sometimes that flight or fight response is a stress, just like stress, and it protects us. It keeps us out of situations, but we don't always know that that's going to be. So we have some things about signs that anxiety, those are persistent feelings, as Joyce said, of worry, dread, fear. You're difficult concentrating or completing tasks. You avoid social interactions or activities. And then there's physical symptoms that
there are
racing heart, sweating, dizziness without having a trigger. I mean, we might have that sweating if we're out exercising, but if we're not.
If you're just suddenly overcome, that's not good.
And then a lot of people immediately resort to poor coping skills of substances.
It's an easy fix, so to say, but really not. It's very damaging, continuing damage to your health.
And those substances could be alcohol, drugs, sugar, or caffeine, so even more than just the bad substances that we think of, but things that, resorting to junk food.
Those comfort foods that we all love
are not always the best choices. So let's get started with some of our favorite things. What is one of your favorite ways to reduce stress?
So for me, always, music is something that is dear to my heart. And I was having to go in and get a procedure done, and I could tell I was starting to kind of freak out a little bit, and my heart started pounding, and here I am just, waiting in a room by myself for people to come in and do something, and I was just like, oh, I don't want them to do this. And music immediately came to me, and it was just a little chorus from church that I closed my eyes, calmed my breathing, and just played this tune in my head, and I might have even sang softly with it. And I could tell immediately my heart rate started to lower. I was breathing better, and still I was not looking forward to what was to come, but I was in a better place to be a part of that and to not be as stressed out. And when you are in those situations, it elevates everything, and it makes it harder for the people trying to help you, for yourself trying to be helped. And if you can just calm yourself, take a moment and say, it's okay, I'm safe here, and find those things that calm you. And for me, music is a huge thing. But I did the music, and I also did breathing as well, because those things just
I was going to comment on your story where you said, I started focusing on my breathing. And that is one way to really calm yourself, even if you're not doing deep breathing, but just to start paying attention to your breathing and your body functioning and sort of getting into that pre-meditation state.
Yes.
But while we're talking about breathing is a great way. So, when we're getting ready to have babies, we practice breathing.
They do.
But it's a little bit a different type of breathing, but that's always a great way to reduce pain, is that.
Well, and when you're taking these deep breaths, you're getting in as much oxygen as you can, which is going throughout your whole system, which just also helps.
But deep breathing is more of a slow breathing. And so that's breathing slowly in through your nose to account, if you can do it, more than like 5. And you have to build up to that, though.
Yeah.
And then holding it for 5 counts and then slowly letting it out for 5 counts and then build up to 8. But it's really hard until you build that up to, especially for me, to exhale slowly.
And if you think of it like a square, breathing up, holding, breathing out, and then waiting, and then breathing up, and that'll help you figure out. And it can be even 4. And of course, we never breathe deeply enough anyway, so it's just a good way to increase your lung capacity as well.
Right. Increasing our lung capacity helps us in many, many other ways as well. And we talked about anxiety, causing health problems, but a lot of these tips will actually improve your health.
Yes.
And one of those is getting out and moving. So physical activity, of course, is super important for health. But even if you're not into sports or into running or even into walking, but getting outside in nature and just doing small movements, walking around your yard,
Watering your plants.
planting flowers, or my favorite, dancing. Just
Outside?
Like dance around the house, dance outside.
I'll have to try that one.
I live out in the county. I don't have neighbors.
I have a tall fence. I'd be okay.
So I actually put in my earbuds when I go for a walk, and my arms are swinging up in the air, and I'm like dancing as I'm walking.
Oh, that sounds so much fun. I'm going to have to try that.
Then you get music and movements all over. So, I mean, it's just some ways, and it depends on what works for you. Yeah. Yoga is another great way.
Yoga is really, really good.
To reduce
and that also still
stress.
Focuses on your breathing. So you're moving, you're working on your muscle strength, you're working on balance, which is so important as we age. Yoga has a lot of great things in there for you.
So all those things can be helpful, but you got to find something that works for you. And I often joke that for me, when I get stressed, one of the things that works for me is to go balance my checkbook or do something on a spreadsheet with numbers. And nobody else is a numbers person. I realize that.
No. That causes stress.
But that's something that, for me, doesn't require a lot of things. But since I don't work in that field anymore where I have to do a lot of number stuff, I go to reading.
Oh.
And I do a lot of reading. And I like to read for fun because then I don't have to be trying to learn as I'm reading. I just enjoy the story.
Yes.
So that's another thing that we can do. And then, of course, you're on the opposite side of me. I'm a numbers person. Joyce is a creative person.
I found that out. I would have never guessed. But I've
known all along.
I love to be in Canva. I love to make social media stuff in there and just find the right background and tweak this and put that and the perfect font for the lettering. And I really have fun in there. And so what Brenda does for my pleasure is she puts all the stuff in there that she wants on the post, and then I go in and just have fun with it.
Yes.
And I make it into whatever I want it to be, and I don't have to think about what words I want. So that's always a lot of fun for me to work on. So,
but you're also creative in other ways as well, artistically.
I guess.
A little more artistic than me, for sure. But a lot of people, that's a great way to color.
Yes.
To draw, to...
Some people love puzzles, and I'm not that person. They stress me. They give me stress to find all the little pieces, but some people really like that. And so it's really important. You know you better than anybody else. So find out those things that you enjoy, and it'll make your life easier, especially during stressful times.
But we will tell you these things work for everyone. First, getting enough sleep.
Definitely.
Because our bodies are able to heal while we're sleeping. And so it's important that we get enough sleep, that sometime throughout the day we connect with people, not just through texting or anything, but talking,
Actually seeing somebody.
seeing people,
Yes.
building networks and friends or whatever. But sometime during the day that you actually have human contact. And for me, it's touch. You know, having somebody who cares about me to touch me, or give me a hug, or just whatever. That also helps. And that was some studies done with orphan babies and talked about touch way back in the probably 70s. And then limiting caffeine and alcohol is super important for reducing your stress. But also on the flip side, increasing your good things in your diet, like the whole grains, the
Your
fruits and vegetables. Because,
and drinking water. Drinking
Right.
water is a big, huge thing.
But getting those vitamins and minerals, trace minerals from all those fruits, vegetables, and whole grains will impact your gut health immensely, and that will help reduce stress. So that's all things that can happen that everybody needs to do. So another thing that is important or can help a lot of people, especially our youth, our young adults, is a social media break.
Definitely.
It doesn't have to be a week-long break. It could just be an hour, or definitely the time that you're supposed to be asleep.
Definitely.
We're finding that many teens are not are on their phones all night and not sleeping because they're waiting for notifications.
And I was just seeing recently that while you sleep, you have this glymphatic system for your brain, and it kind of washes everything out and flushes it out so that you're ready to start the next day. And so if you're not getting that sleep like you're supposed to be, it's never really having that chance to clear all of that stuff out of your mind. And so that would be another reason that you might be having some anxiety, is just because you're not sleeping and giving your body enough time to recuperate from your stressful day that we all have.
Yes. So another one for me that actually causes me stress or anxiety, but then it's like when I get past it, it's good, is decluttering. After a while, I have too much stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't find anything because I got too much stuff. I got things stacked everywhere, and it drives me crazy. And people who've worked with me are like, I don't care what we buy, but it has to have a case or a box to put it in. It has to have a storage space because we got to put it away. I can't handle stuff sitting around. Not that my house is clean or perfect. It's just that after a while,
It gets to be too much.
it becomes overwhelming, and then I can't do anything. I can't pick it up, and I can't.
Because you're like, well, where am I going to put this?
Yes. So that's a big stressor for me. But not everybody has that problem. But I know that we've talked about some other things, and we're getting close to the end. So I think we need to hit the show and tell stuff.
So I'm really big on natural alternatives. And instead of maybe trying something to help me sleep, like a sleeping aid, I might do melatonin. But I would also probably try some essential oils. And there's different ones you can use. Most of the ones that are best for stress are going to be your natural scents that you would find out in nature, like rose, geranium, cedar wood, some of those smells. And so if you probably need, first I'd say make sure you find a really good oil source, because this is something you're going to be inhaling, and you don't want to be breathing in anything that's bad or applying to your skin. So lavender's a really great one for helping with sleep. Some of them will come in combinations where they're already mixed. Like this one is balsam, and it's got lime, and then it's cedarwood and vanilla, which is a favorite of Brenda's. And then we also have some lavender in here. So there's some really great natural things that you can use that will help with your anxiety and with your stress. And we know that scents are something that's really a core memories in our mind. And I don't know if I brought that one, but there's one that's it's called Christmas. I'll let you smell it. And it's it makes you feel happy.
Yeah, it has my favorite clove smell in it, and there's some orange in there.
Yes,
it's
and
really
so
good smell.
it's just finding those things that work for you. Sometimes it's going to be maybe a citrus blend, but it's really the flowers and the more natural smells that if we were outside that we would smell. And so those are some great ways that you can use something that's not going to interrupt with your sleep later, make you feel groggy, make you feel like you're not working right. And so those are just a really excellent, if you Google it, it'll give you lots of different options.
So even if you don't have oils around your house, if you even get a candle with a nice smell like that, or the little melts. For me, I was telling her I like the vanilla. It's to me very calming, but
yeah,
there's others that other people like that are nice and calming.
So with the candles, you also want to make sure that what's in your candle. So because you're also breathing that stuff in, so you want to make sure you're careful about what you have in your household. And I would just say that with any of the products you have in, with your cleaning stuff and any of those things. So.
But as we were talking about this, I thought we need to do a whole thing on oils. So we'll probably do that in the future. So the other thing was negative thoughts.
Yes. So we have what we would call automatic negative thoughts. And I think we all experience these things. You want to try something new, and maybe just the first thing you think of is, you're not going to do well in this. You know, you always had problems with geometry, and so why are you even looking at trying to do this puzzle? But the thing that you need to remember is, even though these thoughts come up quickly and confront you, that you need to take a minute and say, wait a minute, is this thought really true? If I got up in the morning and I said, wow, I just look terrible today, and just say, wait a minute, is that really true? And then think about, well, what if I don't really look terrible today? Then how does that affect your day? So you just have to always remember that the thoughts you have that come through your mind aren't things that you have to hold on to, or that you have to keep, or that you have to pet and say, yes, this is right. And those things affect not only your stress level, but your self-esteem and how you go forward in your day. So if you can put those things to the side and say, that's not a true statement about who I am, and then say a true statement, you know, I'm worthwhile. I am smart. I can do these things, because those are all true. And that reframes your day and helps you go out forward and have a better positive outlook, which is going to affect how you treat your family, how you interact with others, and how you treat yourself.
So we have some information on our website, and we have posts about positive mantras, and having something that you say to yourself every day. That's a positive thing. For me, I had attended a customer service training to be a trainer for this thing. And one of them was talking about choosing your attitude. When you go to work, that you choose your attitude so you can better serve your customer. But I always think that is super important every day, that I choose to be happy, or I choose that I'm going to have a good day when I walk out the door. And it sort of frames me for the day, that instead of, oh my gosh, I have all this crappy stuff to do.
I don't want to do any of that.
I'm going to get through this today because I'm going to choose to be happy, or I'm going to choose to have a good day no matter what. So that is sort of how one of the things I take with me every day is to choose that attitude that sort of fits in with what you were saying.
So I had seen recently, and it was a therapist talking to somebody, and she was saying, you know, when you get up in the morning, look in the mirror and give yourself a high five. And don't say anything. You don't have to say anything. I'll just give yourself a high five. Because we have associated a lot of things with a high five. So when I give somebody a high five, what does that mean?
Good job.
It means you did a good job. Hey, you're doing good. Keep on going. And so just to keep doing that, and then as you go through and you're repeating this, your mind is going to associate that with you. Look, there I am in the mirror giving me a high five, and I've got this day. And so it just is a way to help retrain your brain that I can do these things. So I thought that was really interesting, that you don't have to say anything. You don't have to smile at yourself. You just give yourself a high five. And to do that consistently, and that will change how you think about yourself.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that we've talked about doing is laughing every day.
Yes,
and
that's
we've actually
really
done
important.
a podcast last season on laughing. So I hope some of these tips have been helpful for you. There are things that I always learn every time we talk about this. We've come up with some new ones. And please check out our website at qchealthcouncil.org under Anxiety Busters for some other great tips. And of course, we'll have some more in the blog that we talked about today. And please come back next time for another episode that will raise your health IQ.
Special thanks to our hosts, Joyce Runyan, Quay County Health Council Assistant Coordinator, and Brenda Bishop, Quay County Health Council Coordinator. Podcast crew, Director, Robert F. Hockaday. Producers, Robert F. Hockaday, Joyce Runyan. Camera Operator, Robert F. Hockaday. Second Assistant Operator, Joyce Runyan. Editor, Joyce Runyan. Music provided by David Morris. Funding for this podcast is provided by New Mexico Legislative Appropriation from Representative Jack Jackson. Brought to you by Quay County Health News. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Quay County Health. If you have content ideas, reach out to us at healthiqpodcast@gmail.com.
This podcast was created solely for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for advice from a healthcare or mental health professional.